Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to be touring the bus in its current condition and sort of going over all the weird quirks and things that I plan to change and things that I plan to revise in the next one. So this thing's been put through the ringer pretty well now. It's been on a 2,000-mile road trip, and now it has gone down to minus 20 degrees. It's also been dumped on with about, well, probably 10 total feet of snow, and like 3 or 4 feet of that was in one swing. So this thing has been pretty thoroughly tested. We're gonna start off with the outside here. We have the mini split on the back here. This thing has been killer. I was expecting to have to use some auxiliary heat, and on the minus 20 degree day, it certainly did need some auxiliary heat, but this thing cranks it pretty good down to about like minus 10 or minus 15 or so. And about minus 15, it starts to cut out and not really produce almost any heat. Still some rust that we need to take care of, and thankfully it's just the cheap sheet metal that rusted. Nothing underneath is really that bad. This is how I have my shoreline going in. We do have it connected to shore power right now just because the panels are covered with snow, and they've been covered with snow for almost a month now. So we did have to connect up to auxiliary electricity, and in the process we decided to install this little exterior plug connection, which is not connected to anything yet, but as you can see, everything inside of here is nice and dry, and I just have a little male connection right here. So once we get this connected, there's a switch inside so that I can turn on and off the grid power without having to unplug it. But having this here will keep the connection nice and secure and dry, so hopefully there's not going to be any kind of excessive heating. Making our way up to the front door here. Door handle has been a little tricky. I have experience installing door handles in other applications, mostly with haunted houses, but this is my first time really doing a fresh install of a door handle. I didn't set this thing back nearly far enough, so it unfortunately chipped the wood here and it was not holding the door shut. So I re-looked at the instructions, I set it back its proper distance, and now we've got it like this, but we are gonna have to replace that board. Technically we could leave it like this and it's secure. I mean, someone who's not very motivated is not gonna get in there, at least if they're just checking the door handle. Really, it's more to keep out wildlife, and my thinking is a bear could just rip this right off, or even, you know, a large dog or something. Same thing with the closet door. This has been a long-term temporary solution. It was meant to be my solution for a month, and then I could not find a door. So we are going to custom make one out of pallets. Personally, I haven't had any issues driving with this amount of visibility with this window and the window right up front here. Really, it's perfectly clear, and I have, again, zero issues with seeing, but a lot of people have been complaining about the door not having a window, and that is something that insurance has mentioned a couple times. So I think whenever we build the next one, we are going to have a window in there. We're going to build one into it. Most likely nothing too fancy. I'm probably just going to get a sheet of plexiglass. So coming on inside here. So this is the entrance. This is kind of like the front storage area, mudroom type of thing that you could say. That up there is the cat's corner, and I've been debating whether I want to make this entire stretch the cat's corner, but they mostly hang out over there, and they really only come over here whenever I just get home or they're lonely. So I think what we're gonna do is we're going to make this a storage section and probably put the ice maker, air fryer, toaster oven and stuff up there, and then just keep that the cat section. And I did decide that we're gonna put a hard door here. So there's gonna be a hard door separating the bedroom / living room area from the mudroom. Obviously, I'll put a little cat door so that they can get in and out. This thing actually holds heat pretty well. The eco brick material has been doing extremely well. But I think being able to separate the bedroom living space from specifically the windshield and these two large front windows here, I think will really help out with the heat situation. So what do you guys think of your cat corner up here? Very insightful. So the idea behind the cat corner here was my cats love to climb vertically. So they like to climb up mattresses and curtains and stuff like that. So I built this little ramp here so that they can just run up and get to their little hidey hole there. They do use this ramp for the most part. Occasionally they'll just jump on the chair and then kind of come up in a weird way up there. They did manage to find a couple of holes over here and underneath so that they can get behind the wall. So we plugged those up for the meantime so that they can't get back there in case of a fire. And we're gonna redesign that so we have those holes sealed up. This is the inside living bedroom area type of thing. So we have the futon over here, which is a bed and a couch. One change from last time is we do now have the sheet on here. So I have this sheet, which I throw on it during the day. And I have that sheet over there, which I put on at nighttime, and all my bedding stored back here. And I just kind of lean it back on top of the bedding like that. I decided to go with a daytime sheet because I was having this issue where, you know, I was tracking in water and snow and mud and all kinds of grime. And I do try to sweep up every time it does that. But, you know, of course, sometimes I'm in a hurry. I just need to run in here, grab my wallet, and leave real quick. Whenever I do that, though, the cat's feet get wet, and then they go use the cat box, and then there's paw prints all over the couch. So for a while, every day, I was just spraying it down and wiping it clean before I put all the bedding on there. But it turns out that this is a whole lot easier, so I just put the daytime sheet over it so that they can do whatever they want to. You know, dirty paw prints, throwing up, peeing on it, whatever. It's not going to ruin the futon, and I can just take it out, shake it off outside, wash it off, and then we're good. This is what the kitchen looks like, and I have to say this was by far my biggest mistake. I highly regret doing this, and this is all going to get removed here in the next few weeks, and we're going to make a vertical kitchen out of this space. So originally this space was supposed to be housing for the fridge, but I decided that was kind of impractical. So what we are going to do instead is we're going to cut a section of this here, and we are going to put the sink right in here. So I think the sink is going to be a little bit more towards this side. I did some measurements and it's about as wide as the window. So I feel like this is then going to be the perfect spot to put the ice maker. And then as far as this area goes, I still want to have some sort of a counter type space. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it into the wall and basically just have a sheet of plywood with, you know, some supporting structure to fold down and fold back up. That way, when I need extra counter space or when I'm making food in the moment, I can just put up the counter and do my thing. And if I'm not doing anything at the moment, then I can just fold it down and I have a whole lot more moving space. I think that's going to make the space feel a whole lot bigger. The cats have decided that they want to demonstrate the daytime sheet here. So this here is my work desk. I have a little cabinet right under there for all of my clothing. So in here I have everything sorted by shirts and underwear and socks and pants down at the bottom there. And then clothing that was ruined by work or, you know, that I'm saving for tasks like painting and stuff like that go in that little laundry basket over there. This is my work desk. This is where I do a lot of my work and just hang out and, you know, watch TV and stuff. This desk I feel like is perfect. I don't think I could have done this any better. The only thing that I might change is I might put some shelving up on the back or something, or over on top here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think shelving would be very convenient for this situation. This is where I keep all my equipment when I'm not using it, just so the cats don't sit on it and break any buttons or pee on it or anything like that, because that's been a problem, unfortunately. Luckily, we are getting that figured out, so it's not much of an issue anymore, but I still basically just lean up all my controllers and everything against the wall like that and like this, so that they don't stand on it and there's a very minimal risk of them ruining anything. This is also where I keep my ice maker. This is just the most convenient spot so far. And I love this thing. It's cool. It's a instant ice maker, so you just pour water in there and in like 30 minutes you have a whole tray of ice. I like this because it's very energy efficient. It's not sitting there refrigerating the ice 24/7, 365. You just press start and then you have ice in about 30 minutes, and if you don't use it, it just melts back into the bottom, and then you press start again the next day when you need more ice. This is super handy, and it's probably the best $40 I've spent so far. I almost forgot to mention my electrical cabinet up here. I just have my little EcoFlow Delta 2 Max, I think is what it's called. It's a 2 kilowatt battery, so it has a whole lot of power for me to use. I have 1 kilowatt or about 1,000 watts worth of solar on the roof, so it has been working very well. And it is certainly enough power for me when they are not covered with snow. This is the electric box, and I'm still adding circuits to it. As you can see, there's an empty plug up there and an empty plug over here. So I haven't fully buttoned that up yet, but we are operational, and at least we have enough power to do work and live comfortably. So in the back here, this is kind of the bathroom garage area. So what we have here is a composting toilet, or at least a storage holder for one. As you can see, there's really nothing going on in here at the moment. I've only actually used this a couple of times while I was on some camping trips, but the whole mission behind the poop box here is the composting toilet is back there, and then there is a little wall divider right there, and the cat litter box. So all of the biohazard is contained in this back section here, And it's cool because I put a computer fan in the back over there, and it's been really good at keeping the smell away. It's been really cool. In fact, I've actually had a lot of people who mentioned whenever they go to someone's house that has cats, they always get hit in the face with a really pungent cat smell. And so far, everyone has complimented me saying that they didn't even realize I had cats until they saw them. So this thing works exceptionally well. No changes going on here. Just gonna make the top maybe a little bit more sturdy. So part of the design with the poop box here is I was tired of having cat litter in my living space. It seriously feels like you're just living inside of a cat litter box when you have cats inside of a motorhome or a bus or a small space like this. So the intention with this is I put a little ledge here and I put a little ledge here. And the idea is when they get out of the cat box, they step out and most of the cat litter falls into here. So that is like a day or so's worth of cat litter. It's not a whole lot, but as you can see, there's way more in here than there is out here. In fact, there's really not a whole lot outside of the hole there. So when they're in the litter box, they jump out of it and all the litter falls off in front of the cat box. And then they have to jump over this little ledge again, which then knocks the rest of the litter off over here. And as you can see, there's a whole lot of litter over there. There's not quite as much over here. And there is zero on this side. So far, that design has worked extremely well, and I'm very happy with it. Ultimately, I did decide that this is going to be just a full-size shower here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a wall here, and I'm gonna make a hard door so that we can access the garage section over here. And then everything on this side of the wall is going to be the shower and the poop box. So there's your rundown of the bus and everything that I want to change about it and everything that is going to change in the near future. I think this was a smart choice to only build it like 3/4 of the way and move into it before you seal everything up. That way you kind of get a feel for how everything's placed and you can decide if it's correct for you. And in this case, I decided that there's a lot of things I want to change. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.